Welcome to the American Nephrology Nurses Association's 50th Anniversary Podcast Series. In this commemorative series, past presidents and other leaders of the American Nephrology Nurses Association will provide a rich history of the association itself and of nephrology nursing as a specialty nursing profession. The American Nephrology Nurses Association's 50th Anniversary Podcast Series is brought to you by the Nephrology Nursing Journal, the official journal of the American Nephrology Nurses Association. We are honored to present this episode, and we hope you enjoy these invaluable and enlightening nephrology nursing recollections.
Hi, my name is Norma Gomez. I am a member of the Nephrology Nursing Journal Editorial Board and a past president of CNNe. Today it is my honor to interview Donna Painter, who served as president of CNNe from 2010 to 2011. Donna, I want to thank you for taking time to speak with us today about CNNe and nephrology nursing.
Thank you, Norma. It's an honor to be here talking with you.
Let's just start at the beginning. How did you become a nephrology nurse? What influenced you?
Well, I left working in the intensive care unit in 1983 with the advent of DRGs. There were a lot of things scaring everyone as that happened in hospitals, and people were sort of leaving the hospital in droves. And I ended up in dialysis. I went to work in a 6-station outpatient dialysis clinic that was back in my hometown, and I was hired to start a peritoneal dialysis training program. So I guess home therapies has always been where my passion is.
Oh, that's great. Let's talk a little bit about your role as president of CNNe. What was the nephrology nursing or CNNe environment during your presidency?
Well, there was a realization that the next generation was not seeing involvement in professional associations as a priority. CNNe needed to find a way to demonstrate their value, to reach out to the Gen Xers in a completely different way. And we started thinking about that we needed to move more and more to have everything online. So that particular year, we tried a lot of things. Not all of them worked well, but we do think some of them stuck and were good. We tried audio recordings for journal articles. We replaced audio conferences with webinars and began the work at that time also to transition the special interest groups to specialty practice networks so that they would be more inclusive of everyone.
Tell us a little bit about what the Special Practice Network is for some of our listeners that may not know.
The specialty practice networks were groups of people organized by the area that they work in nephrology, whether it's acute care, whether it's hemodialysis, home therapies, peritoneal dialysis, transplant. So there's a group that works in a special area, and they get together and do a lot of things for CNNe, for each other, spreading best practices, providing education that's specific to that particular area, and really just trying to promote evidence-based practice in the particular area of practice.
That's great. Thank you. What was the biggest challenge for nephrology nursing or CNNe during your presidency?
The biggest challenge was probably that the final rule was published for the implementation of the new bundled payment system for dialysis. There had been a lot of concern over the impact that this would have. Would it affect small clinics? Would it affect rural clinics? Would independent clinics be unable to survive? And most importantly, people worried what would be the cost-cutting measures that would be employed within the facilities. Would that affect staffing, and especially would nursing, of course, nephrology nursing be impacted? CNNe was able to educate the nephrology community, continuing to point out the research that had been led by Charlotte Thomas Hawkins previously, demonstrating the importance of the nephrology nurse in ensuring safety for care in dialysis.
Oh, that's great. What was the biggest advancement for nephrology nursing or CNNe?
Well, I think advancements are hard because they don't always happen just in one particular time frame. But one of the great things at that time period was that the IOM's report on the future of nursing, leading change and advancing health was published. CNNe made it a priority during that time to advocate that nephrology nurses were able to practice to the full extent of their licenses. We had to make some unpopular decisions at times, but I have to say that during that time period and with that board, that it's some of the things that I'm most proud of CNNe for. A lot of great people were ready to stand up and to advocate for nephrology nursing.
That's great. It's great when you have the whole community's support behind you. So what do you see for the future of ANNA and nephrology nursing?
Well, for nephrology nursing as a whole, I think we're going to see more home dialysis. I think it's an exciting time in nephrology that we're learning more about how to keep peritoneal dialysis patients safe from peritonitis, where the machines that are coming out are just easier and easier to operate so that more patients will be able to provide their own care at home. It can become a disease that's managed in the home. Also am very excited because I'm fortunate to be involved with the First Dialysis Accreditation Organization. We are able to improve access to care by getting clinics certified and adding services in a more timely manner. And in doing that, we also can see that accreditation historically has meant higher standards. And I think that that's a positive thing for us, that will even move the standard of care to a higher level. Nephrology nurses are the ones evaluating the care, and I think that's also very exciting.
That is. So before we end, is there anything else you'd like to share about your nephrology nursing experiences?
Well, I have to say that the best thing about my years in ANNA, I became a member many, many years ago when I went to work in dialysis and found Nephrology Nursing Journal laying on the break room table. After looking through the journal, I signed up to join ANNA, was a charter member of the Dallas chapter when it began, and gradually got involved there, which led to national involvement. And I have to say that some of the best, really, really bright and special nurses, they have always been there to help you. They mentor me. They helped me to be a better nurse, not to mention the great friendships that we've developed over time. So ANNA has just been a very, very important part of my life.
That's wonderful. It is wonderful to be a part of such a great organization. So Donna, I want to thank you for your service and leadership and president of ANNA and for allowing us to interview you today. We very much appreciate you taking time to talk with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Norma.
The American Nephrology Nurses Association's 50th anniversary podcast series is brought to you by the Nephrology Nursing Journal, the official journal of the American Nephrology Nurses Association. This series is owned and produced by the American Nephrology Nurses Association. All rights reserved. No portion of this podcast may be used without written permission. For archived episodes of this podcast and to learn more about the American Nephrology Nurses Association, visit the association's website at annanurse.org. You can also subscribe to this podcast on iTunes, Google Play Music, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, our hosting site Spreaker, and other various podcast delivery services.